Hey, and we live, we live, we live, we live. Hey, and we live, we live. Hey, we live. Today we are here at Harlem Haberdasher with Lewis. But we want you to introduce yourself. So we want you, because I feel like when sometimes people introduce other people, it's not really as like that's who I am, you know? And I want you to really introduce yourself and do your whole name.
All right, well, my whole name,
Yes.
actually, okay, I'm Louis Ronaldo Nehemiah Johnson Jr.
Okay, a junior. So how was that being a junior?
It's the most flyest thing in the whole wide world.
My,
Flyest thing in the world.
I asked that because I know, like, I have 2 kids and I want to do a junior too, but then I also was like, I want them to have their own identity. So some people go with that, you know, parenting wise. I don't know, but I think
It's
I
not
like
like
it.
identity. It's just that you have the identity with a name shared with somebody that you're in love with. I'm in love with my pops.
Okay, see, I'm glad we got this recorded because then I can use that now next time I have another
Of course.
down the line.
Of course. That starting five basketball team.
Okay, you gotta get that. But
Say word.
we got a phone call. We always live, you know what I'm saying? So we can't really worry about it. We gotta try to talk through it. This is his shop. This is a nice shop. But what do you have in your shop? Like, what do you kind of allow in here as in different fashions?
Well, I don't allow anything except for our flyness. We are a family-owned boutique. We started custom 25 years ago, and through doing custom all these years, we found that there was a missing of flyness out in the stores. And if it was in the store, then there was too many people that was going to be in your flyness when you walked in the store.
So I got a question. You said so missing. So what are you saying by that? Like, when you're saying something missing in the store?
Missing individuality of flyness and color and styles and details. That was always missing. I mean, you have your timeless, your classic pieces that are Ralph Lauren's, are, you know, Tommy Hilfigers and so on and so forth, that they do, but then nobody gives a creative edge to those classic pieces, you know, or the details in those.
So it's like, so you feel like for some of these fashion lines, it's just like a row of robots because it's like the same kind of fashion in a sense, so everybody's wearing the same thing. But as yours is more like you get to customize it. It's like really for that customer.
Well, that's kind of hot that you said that, robots. I never even thought about it in that manner, but when you actually look at it, yeah, brother, thank you. That is, it's kind of like robots, you know. So, and we wanted to come out and show that we are totally different. You know, we've been doing 25 years of custom for every celebrity, every athletic person out there.
Yes.
We've just been doing their thing, and they've been winning each time they've what is it? Red carpets. Every time they made appearances, when they get off a plane, a boat, a train, whatever they got in. We were making those fly looks for them, and we wanted to bring that to Harlem, one where most of my family members are born and raised.
Yes.
And then also just giving you something that we have boiling in our heads and in our hearts and in our minds, and why not put our folks in.
So other than just the fashion part, right? You gotta have fashion, but with fashion, you gotta be going out somewhere. You gotta be doing something, right? So not all the time, but for the most part. So what are some other things you do outside of like your shop, as in for your community?
Well, in my community, thank you for that. In my community, my business partner, DJ, and I found and formed a organization. It's a non-profit organization. It's called the League, a Distinguished Gentlemen's Movement. Okay. And when we formed it just because we were some fly cats hanging out with each other, and every time we was out, it was getting a buzz. But then it got to the point where it's not about just slacks and shoes all the time. It's about what are you doing once you're in them. And so we had to kind of creatively put together a way that it wasn't just about fashion, and even if it was going to be about fashion, when we're wearing it, are we grooming and educating the others, young men, women who shop for their men, or even girlfriends who shop for their boyfriends, or just men, period. What are we doing as far as that? And so we came out with the League, a Distinguished Gentlemen's Movement, and we moved from being a fashion crew to being, you know, that these young men who are out here educating our youth about the importance of greener grass and greener linens.
I have a question about that then. So then more so it's about education, because I always got to go to education. We can start off first with, how is education important for you at a young age, right? When I go back, I like to go back to like junior high school or high school, as far as the person is willing to go back. You know?
Education has always been important to me, whether it was in good or bad. Anything that I learned, I thought was fly. I thought was great, you know, because if I didn't know it before I got to that point, I'm happy that I got to learn it then. You know, education is just something that's really going to take us to that next level of anything that we want to, whether it's street education, whether it's book education,
Yeah.
whatever.
So
Education.
So with the education aspect, and I know the only reason why I ask about education a lot because for me, I know growing up, I've always had a lot of my friends that are black, white, or whatever, but mostly black people are urban. They're like really against some education, and I feel like you need to learn because if you don't learn or you're not educated or you don't get experience anything, then you can't understand how to fix it or be better in that aspect, right? Because you said you was 5, right? Now you can't say what you was wearing back then is gonna still be able to you wear now, like as in 5, because you changed, you evolved. You may take some of it, but not all of it. You know.
I beg to differ.
You beg to differ? Okay.
I've been in New York 25 years, born and raised in Seattle, Washington, and there are pieces that I brought with me 25 years ago that I still wear today. You know, I keep my wardrobe timeless, classic, and ageless.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like pieces, you're gonna put pieces together, but you're not gonna wear just that same outfit.
I'll never wear the same look.
That's what I'm saying.
That? No.
See, that's what I mean. It's evolving. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you're gonna take certain pieces because you can never forget where you came from. You know what I'm saying? Because if you wherever you came from, it's always gonna be 2 extremes, right? That means it's gonna be the good side and the bad side. So it's gonna be like, okay, I'm going to school, I'm learning, but sometimes I have to deal with other people in my environment, as in drugs, this and that. But you was able to keep yourself away from that, and some of your friends. But that's not always easy.
Well, no, and I've experienced anything and everything.
Yes.
Just to be honest, I'm an honest person. If you ask me, I'm like, no, ask me and I'll tell you. If you don't ask, I'm not telling you nothing.
Exactly.
But when it comes to me, I've done everything. I've done it. Yeah. You know, and I got education from if I liked it, if I didn't, you know, and things of that nature. So,
okay, so when you say you've done everything, like what's something that you went through that was really tough for you, like, and it really hit you, like, you know, you still had to be strong because you have people around you, but it was really tough for you. If you can.
Toughest time is probably losing a parent.
Okay.
Very tough time, especially being a mama's boy, you know. So even I was 3,300 miles away from her, I was still mama's boy. So my toughest area was losing my mother.
I hate that is tough because, like, for me, like I still help my mother. I take care of my mother a lot, and it's hard sometimes because it's like you care so much. You know how you want the best, and sometimes people are at an age where they can change, but you still need to give them time. You know, and it's like it's hard because you know you're watching. You know, and your parents get old, and you only really guaranteed one thing in life, and that's it's 2: to live and to die.
Okay.
You know, and as you're going through that, you're living. Like, how are you living? So that's kind of like what I do the show for. Is more so to understand people like. You only get to live and die. How are you going to live? Don't live and just hate that, okay, I never experienced this or that. Make sure your bills is paid and make sure you get to enjoy life with your kids or your friends. That's how I feel about life in general. You know, take care of what you got to take care of, but also experience life because we always going to have them times where we be like, well, I can't spend as much money as I want this time, but I can next time, you know, because you got to manage your life.
No doubt.
So that's why I say, like, for that, I think it's really important to get to know people like you, because maybe somebody's somewhere at where you was in life, but then they can't get over that hump, you know, because dealing with death is definitely hard. Like, it took me years and still learning how to deal with it. You know, being able to speak about it right now is like, it's tough, but it helps. It's like therapy for me in some sense.
Well, actually, you know what? Anytime you speak about it, anytime that you can actually share thoughts or relive a thought, actually just builds me stronger each time I speak about it. You know, I have now celebrate my mother's passing in October. It will make since 2008. You know, and so each time I speak about it, I'm now able to be stronger. I grow from the strength of the last time I spoke about it, so that in this time I don't tear up like I normally would have. You know, it took me a lot. You know, I went through 2 psychologists and, you know, set up in a dark room and just asked why, but then I had to stop asking why because it was actually taking too much time out of my day asking the question why when the answer was going to be what it is. She's transitioned. So instead of asking why, let's sit back and say, okay, well, now that I have the whole idea, you know, and I have this knowledge that yes, she's no longer physically on earth, what am I going to do to still keep celebrating her as she shared and as she educated me to continue on in life?
See, that's kind of like what I try to get out of people to understand that you're going to lose a lot, but you have to learn to keep fighting through it.
Correct.
And it's not like you really lost anything because when you know these people, they're in your life. Just how if your mother was still alive and she was living where she was, you would still be successful and do what you're doing because you know she's here.
I got you.
You know, so she is still here. You know, and that's why I tell people, I always say, don't ever tell anybody that passed away for you to rest in peace. Tell them keep shining down on them. keep motivating you. You understand?
Okay.
Don't rest. Stay up there. You stay up because
Okay.
we gonna rest. You probably won't rest when I come. But right now we're gonna live.
Interesting. I like that look. I like that look. I'll keep that in mind as well, and I thank you for that.
Yeah, I appreciate
everybody learns differently. Everybody goes through it differently. Everybody handles it differently. I thank God for a spiritual walk and a Christian walk and a faithful walk that I understand transition.
Yes.
And I thank God for my church. My church family helped me a lot.
That's good.
My spiritual father, Hezekiah Walker, and that whole LFT worldwide. It was hard.
And then you know why I say that's good? Because a lot of people, like how you said, you went into a dark room, you started asking why, then you were a religious person. Some people start saying God is not, he's not for me, he's not helping me. It's not that. You have to learn that these things that's happening is to build you up to be stronger. So when people look at you and they see what you're going through, they're like, you know what? I lost somebody too. That hurt. I like what he's doing. I want to do something like that, and I like that he's able to get through his trials and tribulations, or she is, because it's a lot of people out there that have things that may be worse, or may not even be worse. Maybe be as equal as yours, and that feeling of being hurt, or like how you said. When for me, it took me a while just to hear my friends. Like he was my closest friend. Me and had the same birthday, same age. He lived on 17. I mean, I lived on 17. He lived on 7.
He's a team Aquarius.
Yes, and he got killed at college, and I lost him. And I was like, I was 1 minute. I was basically the older brother because I was 1 minute older. So so like for me, it was tough to be there, to see him there, like literally see him laying there and trying to talk to him to keep him going, and to see that hurt, and to sometimes hear people say his name as I was like getting older now. It was hard.
Okay.
Just to even say his name, like if they would say it, I would feel so like angry that they said it, and it was nothing that they did wrong. Maybe they're just mourning, but it just hurt me so much, and it still hurts. But I feel like when I hear other people's story, it helps me so much more because I get to talk about mine. So it's not just I'm just interviewing you. What are you doing?
But why were you hurt when they say the person's name?
I think I was more hurt because when I was in college, and then not even just college, when I was 15, 16, I was coming home from Vegas, right? And I was playing basketball. We would always go to these tournaments and play all over. And this summer, I was just feeling funny. Like, I was like, oh, my body, like, I'm feeling weak. But I would just still be playing. I would eat something, drink some soda, like, whatever. Then I came home from Vegas, and I could barely stand. And my mother was like, what's the matter? I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm just sick. So my mother wound up taking me to my doctor. He didn't know. Took me to the hospital, the emergency room. They wound up finding out that I was, like, a diabetic. And from then, it was like I told myself that I wanted to go through college, and I didn't want my mother to have to pay for it, and I did that. But I also sacrificed a lot of, to me, time when I could have been with my friends, because I used to spend a lot of time. It was either working out, playing basketball, or doing my work for school, because I just wanted to make sure I had everything in line, And I was focused, and I did that. My mother never had to pay for nothing for college, and that was because of Nate Blue, one of my close friends, and he helped me out, and I appreciated him for that. But once I got to college and I finished, I didn't know what else. So, it was just like, it was like, dang, I don't know what else to do, and I just lost my friends, and I'm losing, and I lost another friend, and then I lost another friend. Like, and I was losing my favorite uncle on my birthday, so it was like, dang, like, do I even want to celebrate my birthday? Because my best friend is dead, and then my uncle is like, he died on that day, so it's like, oh, like, and then it's like, you know what? I'm going to be mad, I'm going to be angry, but then I'm going to still use it in a positive way. And that's why, even coming here telling you I'm tired, it's okay for me to be tired, because I still want to learn more about everybody. I want to push myself, because if I don't push myself to do better, how am I expect that from somebody else?
No doubt. It's, again, like we go back, we always say it's just different in everybody. And a person once said to me that, wow, I'm listening to what you said in my head, and I'm really trying to just focus on how I want to answer this, but you're making me find so much in myself. But going back to what a person once told me, that your book in life has been written before you was even here.
Yeah.
It's just for God to put that period at the end of your chapter.
Yes.
That's why every morning when I wake up, I tell God I'm thankful and I'm grateful to be here, and that to share with me what is my ministry today. Just like this morning when I rose out of bed and put both feet on that ground, I said, what is my ministry today, God? So it's going to be funny, because I think my ministry is actually going to come through this interview that you and I are doing. But again, as long as I understand that there's a ministry and there's a purpose for me being here, I tend to not let things in a day bring me down, because it was all a part, again, going back to that word we said, education.
Yes.
You know, whether it was a good or a bad, as long as it was education, I'm never mad at learning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I say about that too, and I tell people in the whole day, you really got to realize when you start off, even if you have start off bad and just keep going bad, but you got to remember somewhere in that day, no matter how much bad stuff was going on, has to be something good in your life. You still got a job. You're still able to walk. You're able to see, able to use your hands. Because a lot of people like that, you know, that lose their sight, maybe can't walk. And some people take these things for granted until they in the hospital. Now they're mad. And I look at it like that. I can have the worst day. I've had horrible days recently and all that, but it's okay. You know why? Because like today, this would be something big for me because I got to interview somebody, not just you, but just somebody that has a lot going on in their life and they still pushing forward. So I have more for myself to push myself forward. So you know, and then sometimes, like I tell you, I don't really sleep a lot because I'm trying to work and I like it. And I think I've gotten to that point because I had this story I was listening to on the internet, right? This guy, he's like, I'll tell you the story real quick. And it really pushed me because I was like, I already was working hard, but this pushed me. He was like, it was two guys, right? It was this rich guy. You got to think about like as rich as possible. And he's like, whatever you think is rich, that's how rich he is. He sees this young guy, he says, you know, I can make you as rich as me. And he says, you only have to do one thing. And he says, for real? I want to learn. So he's like, all right, meet me at the beach, right, tomorrow. So the guy comes, the rich guy's in the water already. The young gentleman is standing on the beach. He's like, come on, come in the water. Comes in the water, gets in the water. Like as he's walking in, it's going higher. First it's at his ankle, then it goes to his knee, to his waist. Now it's up to his head, and then he starts pushing him down. He's pushing him down, drowning him. So the young kid winds up fighting his way out, gets out, right? So the young kid says to him, like, why did you do that? You tried to kill me or something? He was like, no, you see how you fought to get out of there? Now, if you would fight like that in life, you could get whatever you want.
Well, I'm gonna take that education from him, but I'm also gonna windmill when I get him back on set. I don't go past water that goes past my ankles. That's just not.
But it was just like, you know, you think you know the story until you kind of get to the end, and you're like, wow, like, so if I fight as hard as I did to get out that water or whatever, like my hardest, then I'm gonna get it.
Okay.
You know.
Thank you, pal, for that education. Now take your beat down. Come about to whip your tail. Push me in the water.
But you know, I definitely do appreciate you giving me time. I would like you to tell them some of your social medias or just where your shop is located, just because I'm also, you know, with helping with that too.
Okay. Well, again, my social media handle is DatStyleDogLou, and it's DAT Style Dog Lou, and I chose that because that is who I am. You know, I am that stylish guy, Lewis. I am that image-making guy, Lewis. Chose the word dog, D-A-W-G, because every school that I went to was about a dog. It was either a husky or, you know, a bulldog or something, you know. So that Style Dog Lou is my social media handle on everything, as well as at Haberdashery NYC, which is my family-owned boutique, and 5001 Flavors, which, you know, is another part of our extension of this lovely home that you're in.
Yes.
You know, located here in Harlem, you know, wouldn't be nowhere else.
I got one last thing I normally like to say as we go through it, and it's about the confidence that you have in yourself. And some people, it takes a while to get that, but for you, like, how does that help you, or how did you get the confidence?
Well, funny. I am quite shy. A lot of people really do not believe me.
Yeah.
I am shy when I first walk into a place until I warm up or get to see the faces, to see who's up in here, you know, like, what's this ninja about? Is he cool like I am, you know? Confidence, you know, it's something that I told myself to be. You know, I am a fly person. Ain't no question about it, you know? Does it make me arrogant and cocky? No, but if you want to see me and get your education, if that's who it is about, listen. Yeah, hey, that's your life.
See, that's what I like though too. I said that was the last thing, but it's also about the perception. Like, some people care so much about other people's perception, and rather than living that one life that we just spoke about, they got to get to that level, because it destroys a lot of relationships too.
And it does, and it can, and it has, and it will. You know, again, with myself, if I don't believe in myself, well, how do I give somebody else that reason to believe in me?
When I say that it can, like, destroy relationships, it's not you I'm talking about other people just thinking that about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're a good guy, but you have to be confident about yourself. People take confidence and they always turn it negative.
Okay.
And you know, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not you, it's them. They shouldn't feel like, oh, I'm coming. It's an inferior complex.
You know what? K. Sarah. I am who I am. You know.
You gotta. This is definitely a great interview. We're gonna have more coming up because I definitely want to connect with him if you have any other any other events coming up too. I always come out and I like to, experience life.
Well, I mean, this week we start Fashion Week, and so this week we start off with Harlem's Fashion Week, which is going to be my first time ever being a part of it. I'm excited about that. We start off Wednesday with a ceremony with this, evening ceremony, just honoring the brothers and sisters that are going to be speaking on the panel, such as myself. So Wednesday night is the honoring ceremony. Thursday I'll be speaking on the panel at Harlem's State Office Building, speaking in front of folk and just giving them my education, my history of who I am, and what I love doing. I'm in love with what I do, so I never have a problem getting up in here every day, And then Friday I'm going to be a judge on a fashion show panel for new designers. So
that's gotta be like
quite
really
interesting.
Yeah, that's
I could be kind of crazy. I mean, I come from the home of working for Puffy. If you could work for that man, they say if you could live in New York, you could live anywhere. If you could work for Sean Combs, my brother, my love, you could work for anybody.
No, I definitely understand you with that.
Friday, I'm going to judge this panel. I'm going to judge it in fairness, looking at all things because again, graduating as a formal wear designer from the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, 1988. I did a black wedding gown for Diana Ross, which was my senior project, and although I thought it was the flyest dress I've ever made, from sewing back in 6th grade all the way up into that age 20, my professor said that it wasn't, and she gave me a B grade because my hidden zipper was partially exposed by some of the work on it. And so I was kind of like, well, half I just did this in 3 weeks, putting this dress together. How dare you say I only get a B?
Yeah, just for that one minor thing.
So I'm going to be looking at that when I actually sit back and I speak to the people who I'm judging, and I'm going to be looking at their threads, seeing if their thread is cut, seeing if their lines is zigzag or if they straight.
And that's another thing that's funny to me about you because from the first day we met when we was talking and we was just talking about everything. And we were talking about fashion and how you just get so passionate. And I like that because I like people to be very real and emotional and leave it on their sleeve because if you're into fashion and you really know about fashion, you know that that is an expression of you. So if you're holding back something, then you're not fully being into the work of doing it as an artist.
Correct. And if you're going to do it, then do it to the flyest of your ability.
That's it.
If not, stay home.
Yeah.
If your 300 bag count or whatever your count is, stay
it.
home. If you don't have the confidence to get out that house and be flying, and if you don't have the confidence of whatever you're working on to be flying or make it fly,
that's what I like.
is what it's called.
Yeah. I definitely understand you. I just like people to be happy with themselves. That's it. You have to, man. And I think everything would be much better in the world. But yeah. So I want to thank you again for coming out, or letting me come out and come check out the store. And like I said, we're going to do a lot more and definitely going to talk some more.
I appreciate you, brother.
This is Rain Check. This is Louis.
Louis Johnson Jr.
And we out.
No doubt.